video. This video right here is a recap of UFC on ESPN 40, Thiago Santos versus Jamal Hill. Overall, this was an excellent card. I didn't really think this card would be as good as it was. A lot of people were sleeping on this card. Obviously, we know all the fights ended by finish. The first fight, Mayra versus Stephanie, I was completely wrong with this pick. I thought Stephanie would take her down, control her for 3 rounds. Stephanie, she went in too soon for the takedowns. I think she should have mixed it up a little bit more with the striking, and maybe towards the mid of the first round, implemented the takedowns, and then went for the finish. But she was more predictable, and this outcome was a little odd because Stephanie tapped by armbar, but nobody saw her tap. It was weird because Stephanie's reaction to it made it more weird because she had a stoic look on her face. She didn't really fight the call or nothing. She didn't really dispute the loss. She just had like a stoic look on her face as if she don't know what happened. Typically when fighters lose like that, they're fighting, they're jumping up and saying, no, I didn't tap. Her reaction was more so she didn't know what was going on, which it made her look more guilty. The next fight was Corey versus Miranda. Miranda had a 10-inch reach advantage, was taller, longer, but Corey found a way to win. She pushed her against the cage, took her down. Eventually in the second round, she was able to submit her. The next fight, we had Brian versus Takashi. This fight didn't last long. Brian was able to send a message to the whole welterweight division. He really got criticized a lot because Brian, he don't really fight to knock people out. He fight more so to outpoint his opponents. Yes, he finished fights from rear naked chokes, so he has a lot of submissions, but he don't finish a lot of fighters from knockout like he did. He sent a huge message to the whole welterweight division. The next fight we had Mahal versus Sam Alvey. This is Sam's last fight in the UFC. Like I said, my prediction, Mahal didn't have to worry about the takedowns. But Mahal looked beautiful in the middleweight division. This is more of his weight class. His body looks more shredded, more cut up, more defined. His power was there. He was able to carry the knockout power from the light heavyweight division to the middleweight division. Because of his size, the middleweight division suits him more. Because he was getting taken down by bigger, stronger guys in the light heavyweight division. But he was able to smoke Sam Alvey. He knocked him down multiple times. Sam didn't stand a chance against Mahal. Beautiful performance by Mahal. The next one was Terrence versus Eric. Terrence, he looked decent on his feet. He was outstriking Eric at first, but Eric was kind of catching him. Eric was catching him too. So Terrence was able to change the game plan and get the fight to the ground and get the choke and get the submission. I like to see Terrence clean up his striking defense a little bit more. It'd be nice to see him win more cleanly. The next one was Sergei versus Augusto. I was right on with this fight. I predicted Sergei to take him down, dominate him, and even if he don't take him down and dominate him, to outstrike him. And Sergei did that. He outstruck him when it was on the feet, and he was able to take him down over 6 times in the fight and eventually finish him. It wasn't a knockout. Augusto wasn't out cold or anything. He got overwhelmed by Sergei's pressure and his aggressiveness. The next fight was Juliana Miller versus Brogan. This is another one I was wrong about. I thought Brogan was going to be able to stuff her takedowns. Juliana was able to make it look easy. She was able to dominate Brogan, take her down, control on the ground. Brogan didn't stand a chance. I thought Brogan's experience, her takedown defense would help her. It looked like Juliana was the more experienced fighter, but it was a beautiful performance by Juliana. Brogan is not a bad fighter. She was just outmatched by Juliana. Brogan's a great fighter, and I wish her the best on her next fight. The next fight was Muhammad versus Zach. Muhammad didn't look too good the first round. He was missing. Didn't really have a lot of success against Zach. But the second round, he was able to catch him with the left hook, knock him out cold, and become the ultimate fighter in the heavyweight division. This was a good win for Muhammad, but at the same time, I'm not making no excuses for Zach, but Zach is he was coming up from the light heavyweight division. I would like to see Magomed tested against bigger and stronger heavyweights. But Magomed's striking is looking better. He's making small improvements in his game. It's clear that he's training with his brother, Kamaru. I would love to see. I'm looking forward to Magomed's next fight against more stellar competition. The next fight was Jeff Neal versus Vicente. Like I said, I don't know why Vicente took this fight against Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal is stylistically a bad matchup for him because his footwork, his movement, his speed. It looked like Jeff Neal was able to frustrate Vicente. Vicente was swinging in the air. He was missing. He wasn't even coming close to winning. Well, he wasn't coming close to landing any of his punches. Vicente is very durable. He has one of the best chins in the UFC. And he got knocked down multiple times, recovered, came back. He never really got going, but he was able to show that he can recover and that he is very durable and has a ton of heart. He eventually got knocked out in the third round, but like I said, Vicente was outmatched against Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal is a bad matchup for Vicente. After this fight, Jeff Neal should be in the top 10 in the welterweight division. I'm looking forward to see his next fight against somebody in the top 5. The main event. This was a war. This low-key was almost like fight of the night. These guys were going back and forth. Honestly, it was almost like a glorified sparring match at first because each round, they both would swing at the air, but you can tell if any one of those fighters would have landed, the fight would have been over. So each round, I say for a majority of the rounds, nobody would land. It'd be about 10 seconds of them both just swinging in the air. And it was just, they both were very vulnerable in those 10 seconds. It's interesting because after the second round, Thiago Santos' corner told him that he's not sticking to the game plan. So in the third round, he came out and he was doing chain wrestling and just trying to get the fight to the ground by any means. And it looks like that approach got Thiago Santos tired more so than Jamal Hill. And in the fourth round, Thiago was pretty much done. He was fatigued. He got knocked down and Jamal put him away on the ground. Thiago Santos wasn't knocked out. It was more of him just being tired and fatigued than anything. But Jamal Hill, he was able to come back and win. I think it looked like Thiago was winning the fight, but Jamal Hill, he got another finish. And he looked impressive. A lot of people are saying that he might be a future champion. And him versus Jerry will be a great fight. That's my recap of UFC on ESPN 40. It was a great card, a night full of finishes. A lot of people wasn't talking about this card prior, but it ended up being a great night.